Reality check for everyone running Facebook ads right now, September 2022. I wanted to kind of give you guys an overview of what's going on so that you can set your mindset the right way. Okay. This week alone, I talked to two people and they were like, well, ads are super hard to run and people that are running my ads, they don't seem to know what they're doing. And I think that there's an expectation problem when it comes to Facebook ads right now, to be completely honest. So I wanted you to kind of a reality check for all you all running Facebook ads so that we can all be on the same page and we can all be happy and we can all be collaborative and we can all be kind of on the same page when it comes to running ads, because there's some things that are working really well right now and there's some things that used to work really well that they're not working right now. Okay, so have that in mind. Now, with that being said, if you want to kind of rule out that your ads might not work, your copy, your images, your videos, and whatnot, you want to learn how to create and launch really effective Facebook ads that work every single time, no matter what you're selling, go get my $100 million framework. We spent millions of dollars on advertising. Last year alone, we spent close to $10 million on ads. And we distill a formula on how to create and launch ads that work every single time. So if you want that formula, it's on sale right now. So go to 100mframework.com, 100mframework.com, or click the link somewhere around here. Now, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about what's happening in the Facebook ads world right now. Well, I think that honestly, a lot of entrepreneurs are kind of really out there when it comes to expectations. So, for instance, I was going through one of my good friends' account the other day, and he was like, I've been hiring all of these guys, all of these Facebook ads guys, all of these agencies to run my ads, and they don't seem to know what they're doing. And I'm like, okay, what makes you say so? And he was like, well, 2 years ago, I used to run this challenge and I used to get signups for $20, right? But now I'm paying like $50 and they are not able to scale. And I started thinking, I said, okay, cool. So 2 years ago, you were running ads. 2 years ago, like in the middle of the pandemic or whatever, you were getting signups for your challenge for $20 or so. And you were able to scale like big time, right? But now you're paying $50 and you didn't update your funnel, you didn't update your offer, you didn't update your backend, and the people that run your ads, the agency or the in-house people that you have running your ads, they're not able to scale. And I'm like, I don't think there's anything wrong with your ads, man. I think that there's a problem with your mindset. There's a problem with expectations. You're expecting ads to behave right now, Facebook ads to behave right now the way they did 2 years ago. And that ain't going to happen for several reasons. Number one is because 2 years ago, we were in the middle of the pandemic. Ad costs plummeted. A lot of businesses were built during the pandemic. I help a couple of those. And right now, what happens is that, a lot of people are back on advertising. They're gearing up towards the holiday season. The cost to advertise on Facebook is going up. So instead of expecting Facebook ads to work 2 years, like the way they were 2 years or 3 years ago, what you need to do is to update your funnel, update your techniques, update your marketing so that you can make them work right now. Okay. This is like, I'm 35 years old right now, or almost 35 years old. I'm turning 35 October the 1st. And it's like me saying, well, I used to have this flexibility and mobility 10 years ago, right? And now whenever I hit the gym, I don't have the same flexibility as I was 10 years ago. And there must be something wrong with me. And I'm like, no, it's like 10 years later, right? If you keep on doing things, you should become better. You should have better mobility right now. But the point is that you need to update your strategies. You need to update your techniques, right? You need to update your funnel. It's not the same working out when you're 25, when you're 35, when you're 45, when you're 55. Coming back from an injury at 25 is much easier than coming back from an injury at 55, right? So why would you put yourself to failure and to lift as much weight as you can at 55, which can have the potential to leave you out of the game 6 months, right? So what you need to have in mind is that the game has changed on Facebook ads. The game has changed on Facebook ads. And that's the good news, is that people are pivoting, people are updating their knowledge, people are investing on their knowledge or investing in people that know what they're doing. Those two things, either you learn how to do it yourself or you invest on people that know that what they're doing are winning big time because Facebook ads, they still work. Advertising in it on the internet still work. The problem is that a lot of people are operating with an outdated mentality. They're operating with a mentality that worked 2 years ago. I was talking to another friend this week, and he was like super discouraged because he's getting shut down on Facebook. He's getting shut down. His Facebook page got shut down. Then his business manager, and then his ad spend got throttled and whatnot. And he's like, I remember now that Facebook ads, making them convert wasn't the hard part. Dealing with Facebook was the hard part. That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed. Like, still dealing with Facebook is kind of tough. Okay. But instead of getting discouraged, you need to set up the processes so that these things that are native to the platform, that belong to the platform, shutdowns, getting banned, all that stuff, you get up and running and pivoting pretty quickly. Okay. I was because our job as entrepreneurs, business owners, and whatnot, our job is to solve one problem after the other, after the other, after the other. I was listening to Dan Kennedy on a podcast yesterday, and he was like, the only place where you don't have to solve more problems as an entrepreneur is the graveyard. So if you're waiting for you to stop solving problems, if you're waiting for you to stop dealing with stuff, the only place that's going to happen is the graveyard. Okay. So again, instead of trying to force Facebook to work the way they used to work 2 years ago, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. You need to update your funnels. You need to update, and most importantly, you need to update your expectations. Understand that acquiring customers on Facebook and paid media in general, it's getting more expensive. It is the way it is. Okay. And instead of trying to force Facebook to lower your cost per acquisition, you need to turn around and work in your funnel. Work in your funnel. That's 10 times easier, 20 times better, 30 times faster than trying to force Facebook to give you better cost per acquisition. And then you're saying, oh, I can't scale. It's not that you can't scale. You can scale right now with your current math, with your current mentality. A lot of people are scaling, right? And again, talking about Dan Kennedy, he says, the business that can spend the more to acquire a customer wins. So that means that you need to check on your backend. You need to check on what else you're offering. You need to check on your pricing. You need to check on your lifetime value. You need to check on your average car value. There's a lot of metrics and a lot of levers that you can pull to make your Facebook ads work better. That doesn't necessarily relate to Facebook ads, right? If you have a lousy follow-up sequence, fix your follow-up sequence. That will make your ads work better. If you have a lousy conversion rate, fix your conversion rate. That will make your Facebook ads work better. Okay. So I hope that this helped. I hope that this helps kind of setting the stage for everyone. Okay. To be on the same page. And sometimes you need to sit down and do a reality check with you. It's like, okay, am I operating with an outdated mentality, with outdated expectations? That's why if you go through 3, 4, 5 agencies and they don't work, guess what? It's not the agency's fault. It's your fault. There's something wrong with your expectations. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, well, I went through 5 different agencies, they didn't work. And I'm like, okay, that's a red flag for me as an agency owner. Okay. Because usually there's nothing wrong with the agencies, or maybe one agency wouldn't work. You don't like how they work. You didn't like how they communicate with you. That's fine. But 5, come on, man. Right. So ad costs getting up. They will keep on getting up until the end of the year. Then beginning of January, they do plummet. That's textbook Facebook. And if you need any help scaling your advertising, let me know. That's what we do. And if you want to learn how to launch and create ads that work every single time, no matter what you're selling, so that you can rule out, okay, it's not my ads. Okay, I'm not putting together crappy ads. If you want to make sure that you have a formula to make sure that happen, go to 100mframework.com. Get the framework. It's on sale right now. It's really inexpensive. And if you don't like it, we'll give you a refund, right? So anyways, I hope that this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll see you guys soon.